Well, is it going to be a brave new dawn for Chelsea, a new age of success, or is it going to be more of the same?
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yes, peoples, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you're doing well, mate. My dear friend, really do hope that. Not a Chelsea news video as such today, more of a manager profile. Together we're learning about the Italian egg that is Enzo Maresca, who's about to become Chelsea manager. At time of recording, Tuesday the 28th of May in the morning, Romano's confirmed it's just ironing out details. Long has Maresca wanted Chelsea, and Chelsea have wanted him, identifying him as the, quote, outstanding candidate. So we're going to learn a little bit about him today, ladies and gents. An article from John Percy of The Telegraph. I'll be giving my reaction to that, and we're going to gain some intel together, you and I. And as we go, I'm going to give you my comments. So, as always, thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate you being here, hanging out with me. If you want to support the content, it ain't hard, man. You just drop a like, subscribe, if you choose to subscribe. You hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Don't really have it today. Right, I've been for a run, I've had a shower, therefore my glasses are steaming up off the warm face that I have on at the moment. As you can see, it's already starting to steam up. So, yes, that's what's happening. John Percy writes for The Telegraph, titled, Enzo Maresca, football obsessive, and Pep Guardiola disciple, whose idea is total domination. Ooh, spooky. Yes, we're going to just dive in, stop as we go, comment as you go if you have any thoughts about what John Percy's saying, what I'm saying, how you feel about the new Chelsea manager. You know, just express yourself. I'm expressing with my full capabilities. Let's go. So when Enzo Maresca gathers his new Chelsea players together for the first time at the club's Cobham training base, easy for me to say, it will all be about the, quote, the idea. Now, just off the bat, pause. I am happy that we've got an idea. There is an idea. I know Pochettino is meant to be synonymous with a style, but I never really fully understood the idea than a high-octane counter-press and chaos. So, to have like a dogmatic philosophical idea, maybe a bit like that, maybe a little bit more like Maurizio Sarri, that might be a welcome addition right now. Maresca is the latest Pep Guardiola disciple to take a top job in the Premier League, and like his former mentor, a head coach utterly devoted to his style of play. His idea, is a world of inverted fullbacks, total domination off the ball, total domination of the ball, 1F, tiring opponents mentally and physically, ruthless breaking down of the lines and overloads. I like the breaking down the opposition mentally, because that's the absolute opposite of what Chelsea have done recently. Whether it was Potter, Lampard, Pochettino, I found that we always gave the opposition hope. You know, we never just broke them inside, and that's what you need to do to be truly great. Genuinely, that's what you need to do to be fully great. Yes, he will immediately outline his philosophy to his new squad and demand bravery and commitment. He will make it clear that mistakes are part of the process. Good. Obsessed with the small details, he surprised Leicester players by insisting very early on that every pass had to be made to the correct foot. Now, Chelsea currently is a bit chaotic, isn't it? I do worry for the likes of Conor Gallagher, who I love, by the way, caveat. I don't think he's the kind of player off the bat that I feel like Maresca's going to like. We all thought Pochettino would like him, but I don't feel like... You're going to need precise, immediate technicians passing to the right foot. So you think of like your Enzo Fernandez's of this world are going to, benefit from this appointment. But I wonder if people that rely on like pressing, high-octane running and tenacity so much, because they're like sort of putting out fires in chaos. If Maresca's like Guardiola, he don't want no chaos, baby. It's a remarkable rise for the former midfielder Maresca, who is still said to hold his own during training games. He's 44, so he's not that old. To many observers, it will appear a huge risk for Chelsea's ownership. Yes, let's just get that right out here. I'm not being negative about the appointment because I'm being realistic about the landscape. But yes, there is a big cynical view about this inexperienced coach coming into Chelsea Football Club. With these Galactico players, Yeah, so huge risk. Pochettino's exit last week was a surprise, and it came after a stirring run over the second half of the season to secure European qualification. The impact of his departure has clearly been felt by his players. Of course, we've seen on social media, some players are quite sad. The players liked him very much, you know. Maresca has only completed one full season as a head coach, though he ended that campaign by lifting the championship trophy, winning the title. That was despite a late wobble, which included 6 defeats in 10 matches, threatening to blow Leicester's promotion bid off course. Poll on the fans forum even started to argue whether Maresca should be jettisoned before it was too late. Yet, an emergency summit between the players, led by senior professionals such as Jamie Vardy, produced a defiant response which carried them over the line. Yeah, there was a bit of a wobble, like around Easter. No, not Easter. Yeah, it was Easter? Anyway, there was late in the season, it was a bit of a wobble. Maresca's brief reign at Leicester will also be damned with faint praise. It's always argued that as his squad was so talented and experienced, anything but promotion would have been deemed a failure. That is unfair, however. Yeah, they got rid of loads of good players like Maddison and Tielemans and stuff like that, and you know, so they lost their superstars, and it's hard to get out of the championship. And they lost their superstars that they got relegated with. So, I mean, you got to be fair, right? Maresca inherited the club on its knees after a surprise relegation with key players such as Maddison's, Tielemans, Harvey Barnes as well. He was sick. He's sick. Plays for Newcastle now. To introduce such a unique and different style of play required courage, and Maresca delivered a promotion and a title. His dedication to positional play and unwavering commitment to a philosophy has clearly caught the attention of Chelsea's hierarchy. After Mikel Arteta's success with Arsenal, the pep effect on coaches. Firstly, we've got one example of that in Arteta. It's not like he's just, you know, popping them out everywhere. And, you know, it took Arteta a long time to get going. I keep saying on the channel, and I have for years now, he would have been sacked infinitely times over by Abramovich and Bluco, so let's be fair here. After Mikel Arteta's success with Arsenal, the pep effect on coaches is now shaping the recruitment process of clubs across England and Europe. So yes, Chelsea are seeking a new direction after the decision to part company with Poch, and believe Maresca can provide it. He will be content working under the current structure, where he can devote all his time and energy to his players and training ground culture. Yeah, we need that. We need a guy who's not going to want to Arsene Wenger it, you know, and just control everything in the club, or Jurgen Klopp it, essentially. Someone that wants to just be on the training pitch and coach the players so we just look good at football. I mean, I want that. I'm almost certain most of you watching want that. That's going to be ideal, dude. Maresca has already worked with Cole Palmer at Man City, as well as Lavia, by the way, and he will be a focal point in the 4-3-3 formation he likes to play. Fullbacks will also be crucial to his style of play, with Leicester's I'm reading ahead and combining words, with Leicester's Ricardo Pereira and James Justin, both are good by the way, moving inside into the midfield where the team was attacking. Willy Caballero, former goalkeeper of Chelsea of course, is one of his assistant coaches at Leicester. He spent 4 years at Chelsea, Caballero. He did play a lot of first team goalkeeping as well. Our father of 4, Maresca readily admits that he can never switch off from football. He regularly spends proposed days off at Leicester's vast training ground to prepare for the next challenge. Telegraph Sport was fortunate to spend an hour with Maresca in February, where he explained his approach in exquisite detail at the training base. He's also done a coach's voice video, hasn't he? I think I referenced this here, where he talks about how the fullback inverts into the midfield and the goalkeeper comes up into the back line to make a back 4. So people talk about a back 3, but it actually lines up like a back 4 with the goalkeeper, which sounds radically risky to me, but, you know, his football is supposed to be controlled and safe, so, yeah, interested to see it. So he explained his tactics in exquisite detail. He came to life when discussing tactics and his strategy, forensically explaining the 54-pass goal against Rotherham in December by pressing pause and play on my laptop. Well, look, he's a football pervert, right? Football perverts are good managers. The two of the most perverse footballers, I mean perverse in the jovial, non-naughty way, was Thomas Tuchel and Pep Guardiola, and there was always that joke when they had dinner, like, long before he became Chelsea manager, Tuchel, there was that joke about how they had dinner and they were like obsessively, frantically and erratically talking about football tactics, and they got like salt shakers and pepper shakers and were using them on the table to like talk about line patterns of plays and stuff. They usually make good coaches. Obviously you've got Galactico coaches that aren't like that, a la Carlo Ancelotti. He's just a bit like, go with the fun. But yes, Maresca does sound like this kind of like, probably like Arteta as well. Guardiola, football obsessive. Yes, so this will be a new challenge for him at Chelsea. Expectations will be high, and boy will they be high, ladies and gents. Because they spoke about top 6 not being good enough for Pochettino. So now they're bringing an experienced coach who say, do better than that, mate. They're really trusting his ability to just scale up. So look, you've got better players now, you've got a better structure, you've got Quaver, this genius set-piece coach. Go. Run, boy, you know. Yes, but expectations will be high, and the narrative of painful defeats will be a mini crisis. Yep. That's how we roll. He will be operating with a higher level of players, like I said. He has worked with who have worked with managers far more decorated than him. Pochettino has left Chelsea in a good place, and the pressure will be on Maresca to continue their upward trajectory. True, big time. The 44-year-old will be the 7th permanent manager in 5 years. Wild. Even by Chelsea standards, that's wild. And will know that past reputations can be trashed within months. Ugh. That is the reputation that Chelsea's owners are desperate to move away from, and this appointment represents what they insist is a huge forward step in the journey. Maresca will relish the chance to expand his idea. Cool. And it speaks of Leicester, but we're not interested in Leicester. All right, let's bring it on home. What do we know so far? He is an obsessive football detail man, much like Pep Guardiola. He wants to play a very, very high possession football. I think they were only just second in the Championship last season for possession behind Southampton, and it was very, very close to be top. They conceded the least goals. Now, that is good because they are a possession side. They're not like a, you know, what's it, like vintage Simeone, sit back without the ball and don't concede any goals. No, we won't concede any goals with the ball. And that's how they break the mentality of the opposition team, because like, no, you can't have the ball and you can't do your game. And I'll say it again, that represents peace to me. I've watched Chelsea this season concede a record number of goals in the Premier League under Pochettino, and I swear every goal took them half an hour off my life. So I don't need that anymore. I want safety, sensible football to a degree, and he had the best defense in the Championship with the ball. That's a massive tick for me. I'm sorry. It's a massive tick. So breaking the mentality of the opposition is massive. The thing with Chelsea, and this season that's just finished, is such a good example, because there'll be games when we're playing really well, halves that we're playing really well, 60 minutes that we're playing really well. But this, a lot of people put it down to the young, juvenile, inexperienced, immature players, which is probably largely true. But also the system always let the opposition feel like we've got something here, we can get in here. Oh look, we've got a draw out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, all this kind of stuff. We scored 2 goals and stole a draw, especially against Arsenal at home, like games like that. Do you know what I mean? So listening to this or reading this is a breath of fresh air in that sense. So possession football, good defense, wants to exhaust the opposition physically in terms of making them chase the ball, but also mentally in terms of them believing they just don't feel they're in a game anymore. That I do genuinely feel like that's a massive part of football. Fullbacks are very important in inverting. Of course, Cucurella has already been doing that the latter stages of the season that's just finished. Could Gusto do that? I think James definitely good. James has played in midfield before, so might be perfect. It might be perfect for Reece James. We will do a video on the Chelsea squad and who will be favourites for who will be selected, who will be favourites for Maresca. Well, I'll do a little bit more reading and I'll do a video on that, so keep it locked for that. He likes the goalkeeper. This is a big one. He likes the goalkeeper to be a really good footballing goalkeeper that joins the back line when a fullback inverts into midfield, or indeed maybe both. So it's going to be a lot of responsibility on the goalkeeper. I saw briefly there is an article on the Daily Mail about Maresca is someone keen to have a goalkeeper who can act as a playmaker. So not just a guy who can play out the back, an actual playmaker by placing the ball wherever is needed, much like Edison at Man City. Now, look at this Chelsea squad. Do we have an Edison in this Chelsea squad? No, sir. I'm not even sure we have the appropriate centre-back that can pass like that, especially now Thiago Silva's gone, who, of course, could play like a playmaker, like a quarterback, like a, regista, whatever you want to say. He had that ball-playing ability, Thiago Silva, with both feet. I'm not saying we should have kept him. He's 40 soon. So, we probably need a new goalkeeper, centre-back, and others as well. In fact, Romano has already confirmed it's going to be very busy at Chelsea this summer. All these headlines about PSR and Chelsea can't spending any money, but maybe he means outgoings as well. And again, we will speak about that in terms of personnel, or playing personnel video. But from what I hear, I like it. As long as you can get the players on side, I feel like in terms of getting the fans on side, he will have as good as, if not better chance than Pochettino. I know lots of fans were upset Pochettino went in terms of objectively and how we were trending, and he's a great guy, Pochettino. Apparently he's compassionate, he's loving, he's friendly, but he never felt like he was going to integrate with the Chelsea fans. Whether that be like it's the Tottenham thing or not, I don't know. And to be honest, it doesn't matter now. It's history. It will be. I reckon he will hopefully get involved with the Chelsea fans, because if he does sign a 5-year contract like we reacted to yesterday, he's going to need to. But can you get the players on the side? I saw a video clip of Harry Winks, of course, he's been playing at Leicester, saying he's never played under a manager quite like him in terms of meticulous detail. There is this kind of like Guardiola factor about him. And yes, they may have fell off a little bit at the end of last season at Leicester, but this is a massive talking point too. He's not the finished article as a manager. I know 44 is not young. It's not like 38 like McKenna or Arteta. But 44, is still young. He's 8 years younger than Guardiola. Obviously, Guardiola was better than him at his age. But I think Chelsea are banking on him developing as a coach and learning and assessing, having evaluated his character and said, this is the kind of football obsessive guy that will get better. Because he just has to exist. He's that kind of entity that's always needs to be progressing. And we're banking on that. We're betting on that. It's not a sure thing that's going to work, but the more time I spend looking at it, the more time I understand why Chelsea have turned to Enzo Maresca, the Italian, to lead their project on the training pitch and on the touchline, at least. So let me know what you think, guys. I'll be very interested to learn your comments and thoughts, as always. Please leave them in the comment section below. I understand not everyone's sold on him yet, understandably. It's a very tough time to be a Chelsea fan, a sort of time of unknowing. But maybe, just maybe, open up the possibility to some excitement as well. Because you never know. Huh? Stranger things have happened. Thanks for joining me. Thank you for liking and subscribing. And I'll see you soon, hopefully. Peace.